don't assume things yourself. Listen to my explanation first, and you'll understand why I said those words that hurt your heart. The eyes that had been closed were now open because of the pain in Golf's stomach. Golf woke up from his sleep and went straight to the bathroom. Golf's stomach ached as if he wanted to vomit up the things in his stomach that kept disturbing his sleep. Golf had been pacing back and forth to the bathroom since last night to vomit his guts out. Golf's stomach felt overheated, and his head felt like it had been hit by a boulder. A few minutes after he had vomited inside his stomach, even Golf's vision began to blur. I don't know what Golf is going to do now. He's sitting next to the cell. Golf desperately wanted to get out of this cage. It was very stuffy. Golf's nose occasionally found it very difficult to breathe fresh air in this room because there was absolutely no sunlight here in the early morning. There was only a lamp arranged neatly on either side of Golf's bed. Golf's face pale, Golf looked at himself in the mirror in the room. His eyes had turned even browner, and so had his hair. His lips still looked swollen, but Golf was immediately distracted by the bite mark on Golf's neck. Golf gently held the bite mark, then recalled how long it had been on Golf's neck. Shit! Golf cursed as he remembered that the wound had been there since Ju's house. At that time, Mew had bitten Golf's neck, but when he saw the wound more clearly, there was a sense of oddity in the wound. Crazy vampire! Golf cursed again when he realized that there was indeed something strange about the wound he got. Crazy! What is the meaning of this wound? Are you giving me a sign that I belong to you? Don't be crazy. Quickly remove this wound from my neck. Golf snapped first when he saw Mew, who had just arrived in the room. Have you realized it? I'm not going to remove that mark. You crazy vampire. When Golf wanted to walk towards Mew and then wanted to hit Mew's face, suddenly his head was sharpened with pain as if he was being hit by a big rock. The pain was not one of the pain in Golf's stomach and head from last night, but the pain came from the bite wound on Golf's neck. Mew marked Golf's neck that Golf belonged to him just so that Golf could be safe in the vampire world, so that werewolves or others could not smell Golf's existence or hurt Golf. But there were advantages to the bite wound. Mew could control or give Golf wounds such as the headache pain that Golf felt like now, and Mew was also easier to track Golf's whereabouts when Golf was not in his territory. I did that to keep you safe, Golf, so that you can always be in my custody. Mew walked step by step towards the now fallen Golf while holding his head. Then Mew squatted in front of Golf while holding Golf's chin. Pain, eat this meat. Your pain will disappear after eating this meat. Mew handed me a piece of meat. It looked like the meat of a human vampire. Just smelling the odor was obvious. I won't eat that vampire meat. Golf's reason why he didn't want to eat the vampire meat was because if Golf emphasized it, Golf would be under Mew's supervision more and more. Golf's strength would also disappear, and it was possible that after Golf ate the meat, Mew could immediately hear what Golf said in his heart. Mew could hear Golf's thoughts. Obviously, Golf refused the food. You don't want to eat it. Shit. I've gone to the trouble of killing my own subordinates just for you. You should press it. Mew forcibly opened Golf's lips, then immediately put the meat into Golf's mouth, and after that, Mew covered Golf's mouth with his hand so that Golf swallowed the meat. The meat successfully entered Golf's throat, and after that, Mew pulled Golf's hair back while holding Golf's nape. Now you won't be able to run away, Golf, so don't plan to run away from here, because I won't let you run away with my son, said Mew, who was still pulling Golf's hair. Get your hands out of my hair, said Golf. Mew removed his hand from Golf's hair by throwing Golf's body on the bed. Then Mew climbed onto Golf's body from above and blocked Golf's legs so that Golf couldn't struggle, and Mew also held both of Golf's wrists with one of Mew's hands and placed them on Golf's head. "Let go of me, crazy vampire. Get out of the way. Can you still do that when you're pregnant?" So Mew, with his lopsided smile expression, "I don't know. Get out of my way," Golf said again. "Alright." Instead of getting out of the way, Mew now started to unbutton Golf's shirt one by one with his right hand. "What are you going to do?" "Shit. Crazy vampire. Stop it." Suddenly, Mew kissed Golf's lips and then immediately played with Golf's tongue inside. Stop it." Golf tried to shake his head to get away from Mew's lips, but to no avail. Mew was even more viciously playing with Golf's tongue inside. "You stop it, you crazy vampire." Golf started to have trouble breathing. Tock tock. Suddenly there was a knock on the door, but Mew still hadn't stopped kissing Golf on the lips. "Sir, there's Miss Alicia who wants to see you." Hearing the girl's name mentioned by the person who was knocking on the door, Mew suddenly stopped kissing Golf's lips and stood up instantly. Without saying a word, Mew immediately left Golf to rush out of the room. It even seemed like Mew forgot to lock the door to his room. Actually, Golf didn't want to know what Mew's problem was. But seeing Mew's behavior and the look on Mew's face that seemed to be happy with the woman's arrival, Golf wanted to know the face of the woman. Golf adjusted his shirt first before leaving the room. Golf passed through a hallway that looked like a palace. Then he walked towards the big door. Slowly, Golf opened the wide door and peeked in. Golf's eyes rounded when he saw the sight he saw from outside the door. He saw a short-haired woman sitting on Mew's lap while occasionally stroking Mew's cheeks with both hands, and there was no resistance from Mew. Mew just stayed silent with a thin smile while looking at the woman's face. "I heard there's a guest staying here. Is she a woman?" asked the woman in a teasing tone. "No, he's a man." "Why?" Mew replied while wrapping his arms around the woman's waist. "Are you interested in that guy?" asked the woman, still in a teasing tone. "I'm more interested in your body. I use it only to give birth to my offspring. Don't worry, after that I will give it to the werewolf. He's a fool. He won't know our plan." Golf immediately covered his mouth when he wanted to scream. Hearing what Mew said, Golf was very surprised. He almost pushed the door that was covering him wide, so he could peek in and hear Mew and the woman's conversation. "I want to see his face. He's the fox demon who killed your brother, right?" asked the woman. "Don't make me jealous. He doesn't deserve to see your beautiful face. Remembering what happened 10 years ago makes me want to destroy him immediately." It felt like Golf couldn't stand hearing words that made Golf's heart hurt. Golf had planned to trust Mew completely, but seeing this kind of behavior behind his back, Golf felt hatred in his heart. The intention to abort the baby in his stomach was also getting higher. "You won't get carried away with your feelings for him, right?" asked the woman. "Of course not. I am not a homosexual. If it wasn't to avenge my brother's death, I wouldn't be willing to poke his hole. I told you he was too stupid to realize that I was using him. I'll make him fall in love with me so that it's easier to bring him into our plan." Brooke, damn. Golf didn't realize that he was bumping into a drawer that was located right behind him. When Golf heard the painful words from Mew's mouth, Golf stepped back without looking back. Golf immediately ran to leave the room when Mew and the woman almost looked at him. "Damn! Why did I forget to lock the door?" Golf. Mew, who just realized Golf's presence, he immediately ran to catch up with Golf and left the woman alone in the living room. Alicia, she is a vampire who has lived for 890 years. Alicia has liked Mew since Mew was still in a relationship with his ex. And until now, Alicia is almost Mew's lover, but Mew has not said that he wants to be his lover. Mew often uses Alicia to do intimate things with her. Now that Golf had arrived in his room, Golf immediately closed the door and locked it so that Mew wouldn't be able to enter. Golf was really scared when he found out about Mew's plan. Golf's hair stood up. The anxiety in his heart was getting higher. Golf was confused about what to do. He didn't want to end up dead in Mew's plan. Golf, open the door. You misunderstood. Everything you heard was just a lie. Golf, listen to my explanation first. Golf, Mew kept pounding on the locked door of Golf's room. Golf was getting scared. If Golf used his strength now, would it work? But if he didn't try, Golf had no other way to fight. Mew. Golf stood beside the table while holding his palms together. For some reason, this was the first time Golf felt so scared that he couldn't think of any other way to fight Mew. If you don't open the door, I will break down this door. And after that, do you know what I will do to you later? Open the door quickly. Hearing the threat that came out of Mew's mouth made Golf shiver even more in fear. Moreover, Golf was not alone. Golf was pregnant with the vampire's child, Brooke. All the glass had splattered when Mew broke the door of his room. The sharp gaze that came out of Mew's eyes made Golf not dare to look back at him. Now, Golf was still silent in the corner and hoped that there would be someone to help him, but that was impossible. Mew continued to walk past the splattered glass on the floor, without caring about the soles of his feet that were already bleeding profusely. Golf was even more scared when Mew's eyeballs, which had been blue, turned black. The look that came out of Mew's face really succeeded in making Golf even more scared, especially when he saw the blood splatter coming out of Mew's leg. It was as if Mew didn't experience any pain when he stepped on the broken glass. Who told you to come out? The very heavy-sounding bass voice from Mew's mouth made Golf's heart unsafe. Golf was still trying to fight his fear because if he was afraid, it would only make him look very weak. I don't care. Get away from me and find your lover. You look so disgusting. I don't want to see you. I'm going to abort this baby. Abortion? Whether you want to abort or not is up to you, but remember, after the baby dies, I'll rape you again so you can have my baby again. And if you still abort again, I will also do it again, until my baby is born in this world, said Mew, who was still walking slowly towards Golf. Why are you doing this to me if you already have another woman, even if your reason for doing this was just for revenge? Why didn't you kill me right away? I never once did this heinous act to your sister. Because I want my blood to flow in your body. I want you to be mine. Damn it, don't act as if you love me. One by one, your rottenness will make me feel even more disgusted with you. Even if you manage to make me yours, you will never manage to make me love you. So Golf, when Mew said another lie from his mouth, you misunderstand, Golf, what you heard earlier. That was all a lie I made up. I never had the intention to take revenge against you when I already had feelings for you. Mew tried to grab Golf's wrist, but Golf slammed it away first. Damn it, don't touch me, you lunatic. You look even more disgusting when you start saying nonsense from your mouth. I should have never had even 1% trust in you. Seeing me look so broken might make you feel proud. But when I see the game you're making, it makes me laugh. You were so confident in your plan. remember, I will never give birth to a child of your flesh and blood, because if this child is born, then I will feel very sorry. I regret that I managed to give birth to a child that was only used as an experiment by a crazy vampire like you. Gulf, don't assume things yourself. Listen to my explanation first, and you'll understand why I said those words that hurt your heart. Hurt my heart? I guess I don't feel hurt now. I feel fortunate that God revealed your true nature to me. Is it nice that I can dance around in your game? I can play the fool when you underestimate me. I don't care what you do to me in the future, because the ending of the plan, you will kill me. This time Gulf was really fed up with Mew's ambiguous nature. I didn't do anything wrong, Gulf. I did it because everyone wants to feel righteous if they are guilty. I never blamed you at all because this is not entirely your fault. If I were you, I'd probably make that ridiculous plan too, but I'd never take such a slick chance. Suddenly Gulf's head hurt again. He almost fell down, but fortunately Mew caught him immediately. You go away. Don't mind me. I don't want you to take that chance again. Bite my hand. No. Gulf's head hurt even more as he continued to refuse Mew's offer. Don't be stubborn. Quickly bite my hand. Mew pulled Gulf's head to immediately bite his hand, but Gulf kept his mouth closed so that he wouldn't bite Mew's hand. Damn it, you're so hard to manage ... Mew bit his own hand, then when blood started coming out of his hand, Mew held Gulf's nape, then kissed Gulf's lips to give the blood in his mouth to Gulf's mouth. Then Mew also forced Gulf to drink the blood. Mew continued to do that several times until Gulf fell weak as he needed to, without caring about the pain from his hand. Mew carried Gulf out of the room to switch to another room. Then Mew took off all the clothes that Gulf was wearing, after which Mew remembered both Gulf's hands and feet were called interconnected ropes. Gulf didn't have any energy to move or rebel after drinking blood from Mew's hands. For some reason, Gulf's body suddenly became weak, as if he had been given an anesthetic. After putting Gulf in the above position, Mew walked towards the closet in the room and took the black box, then placed it on Gulf's right side. There was a table. After that, Mew stood in front of Gulf while carrying an injection. I'm sorry, Gulf, Mew said before injecting the injection right into Gulf's neck. You crazy. What are you doing to me? Let go of me. Why does my body feel so hot? What did you inject me with? You ... You immoral bastard. Gulf regained consciousness, but when he realized that he had been tied up in a position that looked very ambiguous. Moreover, Gulf was not wearing a single thread in front of Mew, and Gulf's body felt hot after being injected by Mew. Are you awake? Crazy. Did you inject me with stimulant? Mew seemed to smile happily when Gulf knew what Mew injected him with. I miss the sound of your sighs again, baby. Mew took the lubricant from the black box and opened it, and poured the contents onto Gulf's stomach and chest. Not again. Please, don't do that, Gulf said in a pleading tone. Do you want your child in my stomach to die? Gulf said again. I miss the sound of you sighing again, baby. I'll do it gently. Mew took the lubricant from the black box and opened it, and poured the contents onto Gulf's stomach and chest. You crazy vampire. Stop applying that lube on me. Gulf tried to struggle while Mew was pouring all the lube on Gulf's front body. Hearing swear words from Mew makes me want to do it even more. Mew took a blindfold. Then Mew covered Gulf's eyes with the blindfold. Don't be crazy. Don't do that. Please stop. You. Gulf's words were cut off as Mew applied lubricant to Gulf's hole and tried to insert one of his fingers into the hole. Now Golf could not see anything because Mew closed his eyes, but Golf could still feel the touch of Mew's hands and body. Yesterday I wasn't satisfied enough, baby. You fell asleep too soon. You're crazy. I'm pregnant, you idiot. Mew started to slowly insert his already erect shaft slowly. Your belly hasn't inflated yet, so you can still take it, Mew said in a soft voice. Mew deepened the insertion of his rod into Golf's hole until it was halfway in. Don't go too deep. Mew started to move his rod back and forth gently, while rubbing Golf's trunk so that Golf would not be too tense. Golf sighed according to Mew's rhythm while struggling to fall out of Mew's embrace. Mew brought his face closer to Golf's lips, then crushed Golf's lips while both of his hands played with Golf's erect trunk. Mew played with Golf's tongue inside Golf's mouth until Golf started to get short of breath because it was difficult to take a breath. Hearing Golf's irregular breathing, Mew just released his kiss. Then Mew also stopped pushing his shaft. Look at you sighing in front of me. Does it feel good? Sighed Mew, who was teasing Golf. Golf couldn't respond at all to Mew's words because Mew's rod was still in his hole. Hurry up and let go, as if deaf instead of obeying Golf's words. Now Mew began to shake Golf's quickly, which made Golf feel more pleasure that he did not want to feel. Don't touch mine, you crazy bastard. Golf continued to struggle so that he could escape from Mew's embrace. Suddenly, Mew immediately crushed Golf's lips and also played with Golf's tongue. They also exchanged saliva with each other. Mew also briefly paused his kiss to let Golf take a breath and then kissed again. Feeling satisfied with taking saliva from Golf's mouth, Mew moved on to Golf's neck and kissed it, nibbled on it, and even put kiss marks on every inch of Golf's neck. Stupid, that hurts. You know, Golf did not stop for a minute to make sighing sounds and swear words to Mew. Mew did not intend to give Golf a break even though Mew knew that Golf would not be strong. When he was satisfied with the kiss marks on Golf's neck, Mew went down to Golf's chest and crushed it brutally. Stop it, you idiot, Golf said in an annoyed tone. No, until you come, sighed Mew, who was now refocused on shaking Golf's. Even Mew accelerated his movements. Gradually, there was a sobbing sound in the middle of Golf's sighs. Without a care in the world, Mew continued to stimulate Golf, making Golf unable to hold back his discharge. Don't hold back. Let it out quickly. Not yet getting a response from Golf, Mew further pounded his cock into Golf's hole. It hurts so much. Stop. Finally, the thick white liquid from Golf's shaft came out. A moment later, Mew had also reached his climax, and Mew immediately crushed Golf's trunk, which had just released a thick white liquid. Even Mew also swallowed the liquid without any disgust. Mew really did it gently and only did it once. Then, Mew kissed Golf's lips while stroking his hair. Golf now felt so weak and helpless that he couldn't even open his eyes. Mew carried Golf's body out of the room and went to the other room. Once in the main room, Mew laid Golf's body on the big bed in the room. Then he covered Golf's body up to his chest. Mew had also prepared drinking water and a change of clothes for Golf. After that, Mew took a shower to clean himself from the thick liquid that was all over his body. Tock tock. Then suddenly, there was a knock on the door when Mew had finished bathing. Mew immediately opened the door. Honey, where have you been? Alicia immediately hugged Mew's body when Mew just opened the door. Be quiet. Golf is sleeping. So Mew, while returning Alicia's hug, sucks. I want to too. I want to do that with you, Alicia said with her cute face. Alright, let's go to the other room. Mew carried Alicia's body out of the room, leaving Gulf sleeping. Leaving Gulf sleeping. Gulf wasn't sleeping. He just felt tired and closed his eyes, but not sleeping. Gulf heard everything that Mew said with that woman. Gulf tried to get up slowly from his sleep and drank the water that Mew had prepared, and after that Gulf tried to stand up. Even though he fell down several times, Gulf was not discouraged until finally Gulf could stand up. Then he walked towards the bathroom while carrying the clothes that had been prepared by Mew, and Gulf immediately took a shower. After finishing his bath, Gulf walked towards the door to get out of the room. Unfortunately, the door was not locked. Maybe Mew thought Gulf was really asleep. Gulf continued walking down the stairs while enduring the pain in his hole because Gulf wanted to see what Mew was doing with that woman, until Gulf stopped because he heard a sighing sound from the room that Gulf had just passed. Gulf walked back towards the room, and Gulf immediately peeked a little behind the small algae hole in the room. How unlucky! Gulf saw Mew, who was making out with another woman. Mew had just finished doing it with Gulf, but now Mew was doing it with that woman as well. The feeling of wanting to kill the immoral vampire was getting stronger. But Gulf must not attach importance to those hateful thoughts. Gulf preferred to escape from there because this was an opportunity for Gulf to escape from this castle. Little by little, Gulf tried to speed up his way until finally Gulf arrived in front of the castle door. There were two services that were cleaning the living room. Inevitably, Gulf had to wait for the service to leave, and until 10 minutes later, the service finally disappeared from the living room, and Gulf immediately continued his steps to get out of the castle. Until Gulf had made it out of the castle, and Gulf saw a view that looked more beautiful than the first time Gulf came here. The castle looked cleaner and more comfortable to look at. Trying to divert his admiration, Gulf continued on his way to leave the castle. Even though on his way, Gulf had to secretly hide every time another vampire arrived. I don't know where Gulf was going now, but all he could think of was to get away from the territory of these vampires. Meanwhile, in the other room, ambiguous voices could be heard very clearly. Baby, slow down. Alicia sighed when Mew broke through her hole very quickly. Suddenly, in the midst of the pleasure she was feeling, Mew smelled the disappearance of the person she had marked. As soon as he realized, Mew immediately took his rod out of Alicia's hole and immediately put his clothes back on. You, why stop suddenly? What's wrong? Alicia said, ignoring the questions Alicia asked. After that, Mew immediately left the room and headed for Gulf's room. Gulf, shit! Instantly seeing the contents of the room, there was no figure of the person he was looking for. Mew immediately left the castle and tried to find Gulf's whereabouts, until Mew felt something had happened. It seemed like Gulf was in danger. Mew muttered in his heart,